What's up guys, I'm back to make another video. This is gonna be mostly me talking today, so I figured I would take out two of my 2-week-old baby bunnies and have them hang out with me. So if you get bored of staring at my face, you can watch these guys while I talk. But I recently had somebody comment on one of my videos and they actually had the same name as me, so shout out to Morgan. She asked how much overall should she save up to get a bunny. She is being smart and planning about a year ahead and trying to save up and figure out how much she should save up to get the bunny and then how much she should make sure she has after getting the bunny just to care for it. And that's very smart. It's something I would recommend everyone does. Animals, no matter the kind, can always shock you with how expensive they can be, especially if they have to go to the vet or something like that. I think one of the bunnies just fell off the couch. So this little guy just tried to jump off. So he or she, I haven't checked the gender yet, is okay. And these little guys are pretty tough. So anyway, and try to make sure that doesn't happen again. I'm gonna go through everything you should get when you are preparing to bring a bunny home, and then everything you should also think about to keep caring for the bunny, like food, bedding, stuff like that. So to start out, I'm also gonna list everything and show you guys what I recommend on the screen. As a breeder myself, people buying bunnies from me always ask, hey, what should I get for my bunny? Do you recommend any specific products? And yes, 2 things I strongly recommend: Amazon for supplies that go in the cage, and then if you have a farm store near you, like a feed mill, farm store type of thing, look in your area, just Google farm store or feed mill near me, and call around if you find some. Even if they're like a half hour away, I would say it's worth it to make the trip out to get certain supplies for your bunnies. It's definitely way cheaper and you can get giant quantities compared to going to the pet store. So to start out, when you're first getting a bunny, the main stuff you're gonna need is a cage, a hay feeder, a litter box, a food and water bowl, and I would say that's probably about it for the cage. So first thing is the hay feeder. I will show the one that I have used on Amazon. It's about $10. That one is good, but it's the material that it is it's easy for a bunny to tear apart, so it might last about a year or 2 and then your bunny might tear it apart. You can just order another one since they're pretty cheap. And maybe your bunny might not tear it up. I've had some that completely ruin them and then some that don't care to tear it up at all. So that really depends. There's also wire ones that you can get. And then there's this other type of hay feeder that you can find a lot of them on Etsy, but you can also find them on Amazon, which I'll show here. This hay feeder is also a litter box, and you'll see there's like the bucket where you put all the litter or hay, and then you also put hay in the feeder because bunnies do go to the bathroom when they're eating. So it does work in that way. The issue with that a lot of people don't really realize is bunnies want to sleep in their litter box. If you give them a box that is shown in that type of litter box, they will lay and sleep in their, poop and pee, and that will cause them to be dirtier, smellier, have yellow feet, and it's just not really that good for their hygiene and everything. So what I would recommend is this litter box that I'm going to put on. That's also from Amazon. It is about $30 and it's big. You have to make sure you get a big enough one because they sometimes show the triangle shaped ones and those are just way too small for a grown bunny unless you have like a dwarf bunny. And you'll want to get that because even if they lay in there, there's a thing where it falls through into a tray, and then you pull the tray out to clean it and dump everything out, clean it up, put bedding in the tray, slide it back in. So, and then you can put the hay feeder that you buy separately connected to the cage hanging over the litter box. So they're still eating and going to the bathroom in the litter box at the same time, but they're not sleeping straight in their pee and poop. And that will save you just some gross stuff and save them from being super dirty. So I would definitely recommend that. So hay feeder, like $10, and that litter box is about $30, and then the cage. So I'm going to show you two types of cages right here that you can get on Amazon. I get the wire one. You'll see right now it's only $50. I think when I got it, and I've gotten a ton, they were about $75 a piece, so there's a great price going on right now. This cage to me seems big enough for my bunnies, especially if I keep their cage open and kind of let them come run around and use their cage as they please. It's a great just little cage for them to have everything they need in it and still be able to hop around. You have to get the medium size, not the small one. And that one's great because it is wire. Wire does not hurt their feet. I know some people will say different, but my bunnies literally choose to lay on the wire over the hardwood floor or the carpet. So and I check their feet have been fine. So that is good because everything goes through. Then you can pull the tray out and clean it, or you can just put the litter box in there. They go in the litter box. Either way, it's easy cleanup. You don't get pee or poops staining into the wood or anything like that, making it something you can't really clean out. And then the other one I linked, it also does have trays. It has 2 floors. The only thing with that one is you can't always see your bunny at all times. So they could be hiding or something, and that's fine, but you can't see them the way you can in the wire one. You can always see what they're doing and everything, which I like. So yeah, those are 2 options, and there's plenty of other options out there. The second option I posted, where you can't really see them, and it has 2 floors, it's probably about $150. So if you're trying to save money and you like to see your bunny easier and stuff, maybe do the wire cage, but that's up to you. I know a lot of people who have done both and they like both of them. The only thing I would not recommend is getting one of those cages where you just fill the whole bottom with litter and they just live in it, and there's no wire or anything like that, because they'll get dirty once again, and they might even eat the litter, which they shouldn't be eating. So this one's trying to jump off the couch again. And so that is the cage, the hay feeder, the litter box, and then you need a food and a water bowl. And I'll link everything down below in the end as well in the description, so you can go there. But I'll also post a picture of the 2 food bowls. I definitely recommend, also from Amazon. I recommend these because bunnies will flip and shove around their food and water bowl. So if you fill up the water and put it in their cage, they'll just push their whole water bowl with their head and all the water will fly out. With these bowls, they lock into the cage, so you can lock them both into the cage next to each other, if you have a wire cage that you get. And then you can just take the bowls. There's like a bowl and then a bowl inside of the bowl, so you can take those out to fill them with food and water, stick them in there, and then everything's secure in that setting, and they can't like pull the bowl around and stuff. Even with those though, my bunnies do sometimes grab the bowl that's inside and pull it out, but it's not as bad as when you just put a bowl on the floor in their cage. It does work out a lot better, and they're only about $12 on Amazon, so it's really not that bad. I would say those I definitely recommend over any other bowl. I do not recommend water bottles. You want a bowl because bunnies drink a lot of water. They can drink it a lot easier if it's coming out of a bowl, not if they have to try to suck it out of one of those bottles. And those bottles, the water can get old, mold can grow in them, and you should be refilling and giving them clean water twice a day. So I would say that is all the material stuff you should get for your bunny. You can obviously get them toys and stuff like that, which I would factor in another $30 for a few things like that. Maybe a little tunnel you can get for like $10 on Amazon. I've gotten those before. It's like a fold out tunnel, just pops out on the floor so they can run through it. They love those. And just little hay toys and stuff like that. And then this is where I go to recommending a farm store. So you need to get pellets, hay, and bedding as stuff that you'll always have to keep getting when you have a bunny. Pellets are pretty expensive if you go to the pet store. If you have a farm store near you, I get a 20-pound bag of pellets, which is a huge bag of pellets, for, what is it? It's $13 for a 20-pound bag. I'm pretty sure you get like a 5-pound bag maybe at the pet store for like $15. So it's a really good deal. Mind you, I have a lot of bunnies, so I go through the food in a timely manner. And you can get a 10-pound bag at the farm store near me though, which would be good for somebody who doesn't have as many bunnies, because you don't want the food to go stale before you even use it. So I would recommend that. Otherwise, you can go to the pet store or Amazon if you have to and order Timothy-based pellets. I know Oxbow is a pretty good brand for that. The feed mill that I go to makes their own pellets, and they seem great. All my bunnies love them. All my bunnies are very healthy. I've never had any problems. So I would look into a farm store if you can near you. And then I also get my hay there, so that's another big thing. Call around and ask farm stores, feed mills, farms if they sell their hay, because you should, instead of buying a small bag of hay from the pet store or something, which can be really expensive, that you can buy a bale of hay from a farm store, which is a huge bale of hay. You can get a giant black trash bag, put it in the trash bag, and then get a container, take some of the hay out of the bale. If you have a garage or like a laundry room or something, you can store the that bale of hay in there, and then you can just take like a quarter of it and put it in a container and put that near the rabbit cage to use until you run out, and then get more from the bale itself. I would really recommend that. It'll save a lot of money and a lot of trips to the store. That bale of hay with one bunny will last you probably 6 months, maybe 3 months to 6 months, it really depends. And that one bale of hay only costs about $12. So definitely recommend that. And I'll show you what a picture of a bale of hay looks like, just so you can get like size reference. And I just keep mine, the whole bale, in the garage in a giant trash bag, and I just take a container down and fill it and bring that container up to my bunnies and keep it until they run out again. And then the other thing is bedding. I also get my bedding from the farm store. I get wood pellets from the farm store, and I get a huge bag. It lasts me, I clean about 4 or 5 cages twice a week, and I fill the whole trays in all the cages, and that bag lasts me like 3 or 4 cleanings. So if you just have one bunny, a bag like that will last you a few months, and it's only $7. So, and it's odorless, it absorbs everything great. I would 100% recommend something like that. So you can also call your farm store and ask if they do anything like that, any pet bedding, wood pellet bedding. And if not, you can get bedding. I would probably recommend Carefresh from a pet store if you have to do that. It's a little bit more expensive, but I've used it before. It's odorless and it seems pretty good overall. So I would say that if you have to. And those are the 3 things you'll have to continuously get. Other than that, grooming gloves or a brush, which is about $10, because you'll need to help your bunny brush itself when it's going through the stages of molting to help get that extra hair out. Nail clippers are about $10 on Amazon as well. I can link the ones that I have. They are awesome. But if you are scared to clip your rabbit's nails, then you can take your rabbit to the vet, and I'm pretty sure it's about 10 or 20 bucks for the vet to just clip your rabbit's nails for you. So you could also do that, but that's probably about every few months that you should factor that cost in. If you just buy a pair for $10 and do it yourself, that's just $10 one time. And then the last and final thing that Morgan, who commented, asked about was getting them fixed. So it really depends where you live. Where I live, it ranges from about $150 to even $500 to get your rabbit fixed. So it can be costly. I think if you call more of like a humane society place or something like that, they'll do it for a little bit cheaper versus a vet. But you can call around and ask. is usually going to be at least probably $300-400. I know one place around me does $150, but a lot of them do that for that cost, and then you have to pay for the critical care and stuff. You're supposed to feed your bunny for the next few weeks after they get fixed, just to keep them going and make sure they're still eating and stuff. So I would say $400 to $500 is a good amount to keep in mind that you'll need if you want to get them fixed. You do not have to get your rabbit fixed. I do think that females are known to get cancer a little bit earlier if you don't get them fixed. For some reason, they're prone to getting cancer around 3 to 5 years old. Males, I don't think there's anything that says they get cancer if you don't get them fixed, so you don't have to, and then again, if you want to, that's also an option, and I know a lot of people who do it and they don't have any problems. It works out. It's just the cost you want to factor in. So I added up all the costs, about the average of everything, and it ended up being $548. So if you were to add up what you need up front, I would say it's going to be about $250, and then there's also the cost of the bunny. I know bunnies range from like $50 to $350, so it really is going to depend on how much your bunny costs, and then the cost of the cage about $250, and then neutering, spaying. I would say overall maybe save up $1,000 in total if you can do that, and expect to pay about $50 a month just to keep up with rabbit care. I wouldn't even say, if you find a farm store, that food and bedding is not going to even cost you that, but you want to factor in if you have to take them to the vet, or just extra little toys or stuff you want to buy for them. I would say just think that you need to have $50 every month to help them. This one is so cute, it's cleaning the other one right now. So I think that wraps it up. I will post, like I said, everything as I talk about it, so you can see what everything looks like, and post all the links below so you can go to Amazon and buy those things if you are planning on getting a bunny. And if you have any questions about anything else to get, if I forgot anything, please let me know. And if you have any questions, also let me know. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed watching these two. Didn't get too bored throughout this whole video. But yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video, and if you can subscribe, I would really appreciate it. So thank you. Bye guys.